Alright, so I was scrolling on Netflix recently, just looking for something to watch, and I come across this anime titled Delicious in Dungeons. And I had to read the description for that because honestly, what the fuck is that title? But anyways, the description says, welcome to a sprawling dungeon where walking mushrooms, man-eating plants, and huge scorpions roam free. Which monster will our heroes hunt and cook today? So you're telling me this is an anime where you have to cook and eat your enemies? Sign me the fuck up. Alright, so the first episode starts off, and we start off in one of these delicious dungeons, right? And the group is already fighting this big ass dragon. And we're introduced with the inner monologue from the main character of the show. And he's pretty much explaining the fact that these niggas were not ready. We were not ready for this fight because for the past 2 days or whatever, they've just been wandering around with no food. So they're just fatigued and not able to, move around like they were before. But mid explanation of all that shit, the dude nearly gets chomped in half by a fucking dragon, right? But his sister comes in clutch and pushes him out the way, sacrificing herself, instead getting chomped by that dragon the same way he was about to. So after he gets saved, he gets, magically teleported outside of the dungeon that his sister was just getting eaten in. And he regroups with some of his friends that were, down there in the dungeon, also getting their asses kicked. And, after regrouping and discussing the fact that their friend is, currently being eaten alive, they say to themselves, I could do some eating myself too. And they start discussing the different restaurant options that are available nearby. Come on, bro. But anyways, after a bit, the main dude, he's like, yeah, I should probably go save my sister, And that's possible, despite her being, chomped in half or whatever. Because in this anime, resurrection, it's a thing inside these dungeons. But yeah, it's just possible as long as she's not digested yet, So they gotta, they gotta move with some haste. But anyways, after he, mentions the fact that he needs to go save his sister, the elf that suggested the idea of, checking out some restaurants first before all of this, she's like, oh, no, wait, no, I actually do have to go save your sister as well. Come on, bitch. You were come on now. But anyway, this elf girl and one of his short friends end up joining, his group to go recover his sister, right? But then I soon found out that I can relate to this group a little bit more than I thought initially, because apparently they are broke as fuck, right? So they can't afford any provisions going into the dungeon, so they gotta kill what they eat, right? And eat what they kill. So yeah, right after that, they get to chefing it up. First off, by preparing, a walking mushroom that they just murdered. And secondly, by also cooking up a gigantic scorpion that Laos just found, from the wall. But anyways, we find out that no one in this group actually knows how to cook this shit because I wouldn't know how to do that shit either. But luckily we come across a nigga who does, and it's it's a short little dwarf fellow. No offense. And yeah, we get introduced to him and whatever, and apparently this guy has 10 years of dungeon cooking experience, so he knows what the fuck he is doing around a skillet or whatever. So eventually he gets to, collecting random ingredients that you just find, laying around a dungeon or whatever, just getting shit off the walls, random branches, whatever the fuck he can find, alright? And then eventually he ends up making, a dope ass dish for the group. So yeah, after, a little bit of talking over the meal and whatnot, the group discovers that their interests might be, actually aligned. Because, well, first off, they piqued the dwarf's interest because there's not too many people out in the dungeons who are interested in the dungeon cooking like he is as well, because you can't really blame him, because would you fucking eat any of this shit, right? And secondly is because they're hunting down that red dragon that ate the dude's sister, right? The dwarf nigga heard rumors that the dragon is supposed to taste amazing, right? So he wants a piece of that shit, literally. But yes, that is just pretty much the first episode of this anime. I cut off, I didn't explain certain parts towards the end because honestly, I want you niggas to check it out for yourself. It's on Netflix, and I just so happened to come across it because I'm like, you know what? I'll just fucking check it out or whatever. And honestly, that one, it has had me in tears from just laughing so hard. Multiple, damn near every fucking episode, it has gotten a laugh out of me. So I cannot recommend this anime enough. And there's just, it's good. There's some actual character development, there's a plot, a moving plot. Yeah, it's just out on Netflix right now. I just wanted to put this on your radar. It's called Delicious in Dungeons, in case you haven't heard of it yet. But yeah, this shit is fucking hilarious. Just wanted to, put it on your radar. And yeah, thank you for watching to the end. that is pretty much the video. But for those of you that care, I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so that's why there's been a little bit of the delay in the videos. I just didn't want to like talk and then like get a dry socket, because actually one of you niggas in the comments warned me about like what a fucking dry socket was, and I don't ever want to experience that. So I went hush mode the past few days. Just didn't want to talk much. Didn't want to talk too much at all. But yeah, I feel like it's recovering up now. Barely any pain. Feeling better. Feeling a lot better now that I, don't feel like the pressure in my mouth anymore. I'm not biting on my fucking inflamed gums. That shit was hurt, nigga. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you when I see you.